Welcome to Mile High Reefers. I'm Scott Anderson. And if you keep a big tank long enough, it's inevitable that you're going to have to pull a fish or two out. And it can be incredibly difficult. And that's the problem that I'm running into. I have a hybrid black tang that I want to get in that tank. And if you watched one of my previous videos, I failed miserably doing it. And it was because of tang aggression. To manage some of that aggression, I'm going to go ahead and take the two purple tangs and the yellow tang out of this tank, and then we'll put the two purples and the yellow and the hybrid all in at once, so that hopefully we're establishing new territories. But to do that, I've got to catch the fish. The problem I'm running into is the fish are impossible to catch in a fully stocked reef tank. It's huge, they're fast, and I've got tons of rock and coral for them to hide behind. And there's no way I can take all of that rock and coral out of this tank. It would absolutely devastate my tank. If you take a look at my tank, the tank is covered in coral. I've got tons of monies right up on top, and there is absolutely no way to disassemble this tank without devastating the tank, which means I need another way to catch the fish. In the past, I've tried several different methods and none of them worked real well, except for one. Now, let's talk about some of the ones that didn't work so well. I've tried just chasing them with a net. Doesn't work at all. I've tried putting food on the top of the tank and then trying to scoop the fish out. That's actually worked a couple of times. But the way that actually works more often than not is a fish trap. So to get my purple tangs and my yellow tang out of here, I set up the trusty old Aqua fish trap. Now, I did it a little different than normal because this thing is really old. I've lost a lot of the parts, but it had everything I needed. So you'll notice on this one, I've got magnets holding it against the back wall instead of the suction cups, just because I lost the suction cups. And I'm using the string from the front instead of the back the way it's supposed to be set up, and that's strictly so I can lay on the couch. But it totally works that way. But I set my trap up and I put the trap in, opened the door, and the purple tang went in within like a minute. It went in there before I could even get the camera set up. So I pulled it and I didn't get any video until the fish was actually in the tank. So it kind of sucked. I wanted a great video of this, didn't get it. So I was really stoked. I thought, you know what, this next one is gonna be so easy. I'll set it up, I'll have all these fish out of here in like 10 minutes. Set the camera up, started filming. An hour later, I still didn't have any footage of those fish going in the tank, in the fish trap. So, you know what, I shut it down. And it got a little later at night. You know what, I'll try one more time. Didn't even bother setting up the camera because it wasn't gonna happen. Well, it did. The yellow tang went in the trap and I still didn't get any video of him. So then I tried again a couple days later to get the purple tang. I had to work, so I really didn't feed him much. I put the trap back in the first day, nothing happened. Second day, I came home, I was dead tired, and I decided to not do it. And then my son said, "Dad, we gotta catch this fish. You set it up, I'll sit on the couch and I'll catch it." So I did, and guess what? He caught him. We set the trap up, fish went in there. About 15 minutes later, my son pulled the rope and we caught the purple tang. So let's take a look at the Aqua fish trap, and I'm gonna just go ahead and set it up for demonstration purposes so you can see how we catch a fish. And I haven't shot the video yet, but I think we're gonna get that female trigger. I'm pretty sure it's gonna happen. For this video, I really wanted to set you guys up for success. So I rang up Aqua and asked them if I could get a brand new fish trap just so I could unbox it, put it on my tank for demonstration purposes. And of course they said yes. So let's see what you get in a brand new box. I do want to say that this video is not sponsored by Aqua. I use these traps for years. I absolutely love them. And I just hit them up asking for another trap for the video. So it was pretty cool that they gave me another trap to shoot this video with. So thank you, Aqua, for the fish trap. So here we go. Brand new fish trap. got some instructions. Those are probably well worth reading. We've got the feeding tube, side rails, we've got the little pull strings. They give us everything in duplicate, which is great in case you lose stuff like I do after many years. There's the trap itself. We got a door. Oh, by the way, they think we're gonna break one, so they got us another door. I love that. We got duplicates of all the good stuff. Here's a little better view of what comes in the box, and I did misspeak. You don't get two doors. What this is a plate that fits right in the bottom of the fish trap in case you want to put it on the bottom of the tank. Now it's heavily weighted, sits on the bottom, and it works perfectly. We've got 3 suction cups, 3 of the door closers, 2 handles. I love the fact that we got triplicate and duplicate of these guys, plenty of rope, and side rails, feeding tube. To put the fish trap together, we're gonna start with the side rails. There's a left, there's a right. You put the tall part towards the top, and they just kind of snap in place. They're a little difficult, but not too bad. Then we gotta put the door in. One thing I wanna mention about the door is you've got 2 holes. You got a small one and a big one. If you set it up with the small hole as the one that fires into your door mechanism, it's likely gonna jam. But if you set it up with the big hole as your door mechanism, it's gonna work perfect every time. Now there's a few ways you can set this up. The way we're supposed to do it is jam this guy down that hole and then put this in here. It's a little bit of a tight fit, but if you push hard enough, it will go in there. So with your door mechanism in the little slot, it just kind of springs back and forth, making it really easy to close and reload your slot. So for the string routing, we're going to route it through either one of these, through the center here, and then through this, where we can just tie a simple knot in the string. So now we got a few little things left. I've tied the pull on the end of the string, just gives you something to hold on to. We've got the feeding tube, which is completely optional as to whether you want to use it, but it's nice that it's available. And of course, we've got suction cups that we can put on the side. If you find that your suction cups wear out or you need new ones like I do, Aqua does sell replacement suction cups, so you can do that. So I've gone ahead and put the trap in the tank. I've got my suction cup set up so that it holds nicely. Definitely something I check because I got a clam and a really nice coral down below it. So now we need the fish to go into the tank. So we can put any type of food in pretty much any way we want. You can just put pellets on the bottom if you want. You can put a nori clip on the back to try to get those tangs in there. We have this little feeding tube. You can put your favorite type of food in there, set that down in there, and they'll go in there and try to pick at it. For me personally, to bait the trap, I like to get some finely chopped up LRS and just squirt it in the trap. The idea is it's all gonna kind of sit on the bottom, and you can see that blue throat, he's already in there. We'll give him a second to go back in, and I think we're gonna have this fish. And there we go. There's the female blue throat trigger. So the fish trap can be a really good way of getting that rogue fish out of your tank. Now, some fish are going to be reluctant to go into the trap. For those fish, stop feeding them other than in the trap. You're going to feel sorry for them, but it's what you have to do to get them out. Now, another option is put a mirror in there, and they may go up and try to battle that new fish that's in the fish trap that looks just like them. Other fish, like a mandarin dragonet that isn't eating prepared food, is going to be really difficult to trap in a fish trap. If it's not eating prepared food and it's not going to go up to that mirror to battle, it's going to be a tough get. But for the majority of the fish, if you work at it long enough, you can catch them. But I do want to stress, it can be a long process. Just like fishing at a lake, sometimes you're going to catch all kinds of stuff. Other times, you're going to be sitting on your couch for an hour watching this with nothing happening. So there you go. That's how I got my 3 tangs out of the tank. I really wish I would have got video of those 3 tangs being caught, but it was cool that Aquamedic sent me another fish trap so I could show you a demonstration video, and you can see exactly how you do it if you need to get a tang or any other aggressive fish out of your tank. So I highly recommend, if you keep a reef tank that you can't tear apart, keep a fish trap on hand. It's just so handy when you need to be able to pull a fish to get it. You never know. You might get that angelfish that's been great in your tank for years, and then one day it decides your coral or a snack bar. Your fish trap will help you get that out of there without tearing the tank down.
Hey guys, that fish trap is pretty sweet. I had a blast catching the purple tang. Thanks for watching this episode of My Home Reefers. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.